Hi, Demetrius Sherrod here in the Cobb TV studios for Chatting with the Chief. And joining me in studio for the first time in 2019 is Chief Mike Register. Chief, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. Happy New Year.
Same to you, and we're glad to see you.
Glad to be here.
All right, so for 2018, it was a big year for the police department. A lot of things changed, a lot of operational and efficiency improvements. Can you talk about some of those changes overall to the department?
Man, we had a great year. Not only was the crime statistics down in every category from the previous year, but we did so many things in the department. I actually had to write them down. You know, first off, let me say thank you to the Board of Commissioners for purchasing a new headquarters building for the police department. The one that we're in was, I think, built in 1974, and we have outgrown that building, many times over. We have a lot of our units dispersed throughout the county, and I think when we move into our new headquarters building, which is the LGE building across from the Aquatic Center on Fairground Street, we're going to be able to consolidate a lot of those units within the new headquarters building, and that is certainly going to help from an operational standpoint because it helps us coordinate and synergize efforts a lot better. And of course, you know, training is so vital for law enforcement. It really is. And, you know, we're dealing with the Cobb County Police Department, over 700 personnel. And we are growing exponentially every year. And with that growth comes the additional need for training, not only for recruit officers, but our incumbent officers. And again, kudos to the Board of Commissioners for purchasing the old BJ's building on the East-West Connectors, 115,000 square foot. We've got many ideas that we want to utilize in building that building to make it state-of-the-art. And we're going to have not only internal training, but we're going to have training that police officers and law enforcement personnel from all over the Georgia and the country will come. So I think it's actually going to be a big boost economically for that area also for, you know, hotels and restaurants. Still working on our take-home car program. We purchased 50 additional new police vehicles this past year. 40 of those were SUVs, so we're transitioning the SUVs for some of the units and some of the positions like FTOs and the sergeants in the precincts. And we're also transitioning to the Dodge Charger because, as you know, Ford is not making the Taurus anymore. So, man, that's just some of the great things from a capital improvement standpoint.
Well, those are definitely some big changes and will definitely help in the operations and efficiency of the department. Now, policing in the community and leading the police department has become more complex in recent years. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about some of the ways the department is growing its leadership?
Oh, yeah. You know, everybody talks about the IACP report, International Association Chiefs of Police report that was done on the department in June of 2017. They pointed out some areas of improvement, and certainly we have addressed that, one of the areas being leadership. Two big things that we've done for leadership is we've actually had the IACP come in and actually teach the whole command staff along with all our brother jurisdictions in Cobb County. They're leading Leadership and Police Organizations course. LPO is a 3-week course, and we were very honored to have them come in and do that, and I think it's helped the leadership team in all agencies in Cobb County tremendously. Another thing that we have implemented in the department is our mentoring program. When we promote good sergeants and good lieutenants, we want to make sure we set them up for success. And so not only are we working harder to give them the additional training they need, but we're also implementing a mentoring program so that new sergeant, a new lieutenant will be paired with a more seasoned sergeant and lieutenant for a year. And that seasoned sergeant and lieutenant will help them improve as a supervisor and grow at that rank.
Okay. Now, switching gears, partnerships, which is part of the police department's branding of commitment, service, and partnerships, has been a pillar of your leadership in the police department. Can you tell us some of the ways the department has partnered with the community in the past year?
Yeah, we You know, one thing that we did this past year is National Night Out. And what we did, instead of having it in various areas throughout the county, we synergized those efforts along with our other public safety partners, fire department, E911, the sheriff's department. We had a national night out at Jim Miller Park. And we had over 1,500 people come that night. The weather was bad, it was raining, but I can just imagine how many people would have come if the weather would have cooperated. But man, we're real proud of the turnout and the interaction between public safety and the community. Also, the Community Affairs Unit is moving to a new office. It's going to be in a substation at the Fire Station 9 down on Factory Shoals near Riverside Drive. And we're very happy to have a new office for our community affairs because they not only are our outreach program for the community, but they do our quality of life. And so even though the office is there, we still have community affairs officers assigned to each precinct.
All right. And I was there at National Night Out, and it was a good time. You know, it rained, everybody ran for cover, but it was a good time, and hopefully next year we get even more of a crowd out. But finally, I wanted to talk about, and I know you wanted to talk about some operational improvements to the way the department is working to increase to make sure that residents and visitors are safe in Cobb County. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Certainly. It even goes back to our philosophy of community-oriented policing. Community-oriented policing definitely is a strategy to help bolster partnerships between the police department and the community, but the end result is that it helps us make Cobb County a safer county for people to visit, live in, work in, play in, and but also there's an enforcement portion. And so from a police department standpoint, we've got to prepare to address some of the various threats that law enforcement is faced with in today's world. One's an active shooter. We actually did an active shooter training exercise over a 5-day period at SunTrust Park. In partnership with the Braves, they were very helpful in helping us facilitate that training, but it gave us an opportunity for officers to train in a high occupancy setting that possibly this could occur in. Another thing that we've done in the department is establish a Homeland Security unit, and that's needed. I mean, just 2 days ago, there was a young man in Forsyth County that was arrested for planning an attack on the White House. And so when you think of law enforcement, yes, the nuts and bolts, the burglaries, the robberies, but domestic terrorism truly is a threat that law enforcement faces today on a local level. And a Homeland Security unit that we created will help us address that. Man, there's just a lot, but I want to touch on three more. One is our Entering Auto Task Force. Entering autos and the theft of vehicles is such an issue not only for Cobb but for the metro area, and we implemented a task force within Cobb County in conjunction with partner agencies. We've saw a lot of fruit from that. We've decreased that crime tremendously through the task force. We are partnering with the ATF to bring in a NIBIN program. It's using technology to help us match bullet casings to various crimes. And also, we've implemented a homeless tracking program. And that helps us tremendously, and I think that it helps that part of the population, because not only does it let us keep track of where we have camps where challenged individuals are setting up on the outside a homeless camp. But we're also going into that camp and we're identifying individuals in that camp, and that helps us not only track who's in those camps, but also it's a safety factor there too. By doing the tracking with the homeless camps, we have actually, many times, we have actually made an arrest on wanted individuals, and which not only gets a wanted person off the street, but the individuals that are in those camps, I believe that getting those individuals out makes it a safer environment for them.
All right. Well, thanks, Chief, for all that information. Definitely some good things went on in the department in 2018, and we definitely look forward to seeing what 2019 has in store. And you look good and rejuvenated and refreshed this year. Has the year been good for you so far?
Well, I got to go on a vacation. That's always a good thing.
All right, thanks, Chief. All right, in the meantime, make sure to stay connected with the police department. We are on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Nextdoor.